Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Automotive Therapist. I'm your host, Scott Branford, and thank you for joining in. This podcast is designed to listen to your experiences with auto related subjects from driving to owning and beyond. Stick around, the Automotive Therapist is next. Hello, folks. Thanks for joining. This is Scott Branford, your automotive therapist, and we're podcasting away here in White Plains, New York. And this is the middle of, what is it, January 12th, I think today is. So I don't know where you folks are, but it's to me, it's been a pretty miserable winter. I know we've had worse winters in the past, but I mean, I'm tired of looking at gray, brown, and snow and ice. But this is a tough time for automobile enthusiasts anyway, because, everybody's got automotive cabin fever and, everybody's waiting for spring to come. So the topic today, I just figured since it is, sort of in the sweet spot of winter, is hot rods in winter. And by that I mean, and you folks out there are car folks, you know what I'm talking about. You guys that have, your Dodge Chargers or the Challengers, or once in a while see a Mustang running around, that just need and compelled to get in the car, drive it in the middle of the winter. I mean, I don't take my car out in the wintertime because they just salt the roads here ridiculously, and I don't need to kind of expedite rust, which is going to happen, I guess, if you drive a car around here. Except for new cars, they don't rust anyway. But I live on a major thoroughfare here in Westchester County, Central Avenue, and sort of a conduit from Manhattan or through the Bronx up in the White Plains and further up north. So we get a lot of traffic along here, whether they're beeline buses or trucks or people just commuting back and forth. But it is a sort of a main thoroughfare. But it never surprises me to see that, again, we have these people who are suffering from automotive cabin fever, and they just say, I got to take the car out. I got to drive it. I can't take it. So, once in a while you hear some nice burbly V8, running up the street here, or some whine of a BMW or something like that. So I was wondering, if you can kind of just get involved with this podcast and tell me what your viewpoints are, and if you drive in the wintertime, what kind of car you have. And then, the crossover now, no pun intended, is hot rod SUVs. I mean, I happen to like them. I mean, some people, I don't know, what your feelings are about it. But, I don't have to tell you that there's a lot of SUVs out there now that are they're faster than my Mark IV Supra. But the world of automobiles and driving is always something we live with and something we're kind of compelled to do. I'll stop using that word compelled. But what kind of car do you drive? And, do you drive your hot rod in the wintertime? And of course, that kind of spins off to how well you actually drive in winter, what your driving habits are, some tips I think we should all follow that we know, whether it's coming upon black ice on a parkway or something, or some low sun glare. I mean, that's something else nobody really talks about, but depending on where you live and the time of day, you can't really see. And even with sunglasses and a sun visor, it's really hard to see. It's interesting, just to think about this, and I just throw that out there, and like you get feedback, comments, from people that have to drive in this environment. And certainly don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any thoughts about what you'd like to talk about in terms of episodes, I'm all ears. So we'll cover that too. And as we go forward, we're going to change the format on this a little bit. I mentioned that last year. By the way, happy 2026 to everybody. Happy New Year. I hope you're going into it with prosperous intentions, and I think everybody is prosperous. How many people are sick out there? I've been sick for the last couple of weeks, and I call it, co-fluvid, because who knows really, what people have. And you go to urgent care or emergency and they'll throw something at you. And I don't think some of the medical experts know really what's going on right now. But again, we're still moving around, moving and grooving. Hope everybody had a nice holiday. And, we're just going to pick this up. Trying to think of some other incidents. There's one thing I'll share, because I'm an old guy, and I might have mentioned this on another cast, but we're talking about winter driving. And, the old big heavy cars, your Buicks, your Cadillacs, those big LTDs, um, they just forge through the snow on pure weight and power. And, you need a little grippy, those old fashioned snow tires. And of course, if you lived in a real bad environment, you had studded snow tires. I don't know if they actually sell studded snow tires anymore, but that used to be a real popular thing when I was young. But I've gone through some real horrendous weather situations. I mean, the car just kind of plowed through it because it was so big and heavy. So I'm sure some folks out there remember that as well. But again, just kind of knocking on things, knocking around here, just getting the season started. And I do apologize. I'm still a little under the weather, but I did want to get an episode in and reach out to folks that want to participate. And we really look forward to your participation going forward. Um, let's see. So we're talking about hot rods in winter. Um, I don't know where you live, but are there any speed infractions out there anymore? Sometimes you get on the highways and people drive so fast, and I mean, when I was young, you go 70, 75 miles an hour, and that was peaking. Uh, but now even in the wintertime, I see people flying by at 100 miles an hour, and of course, these photo cams now uh, will nail you. Even if there's not law enforcement in the area. But again, this is all about sharing and telling us what your feelings are and what your experiences are as well. Let's see. And the other thing I think I was going to talk about, uh, yeah, it was really mainly just the hot rod thing, and I mean, are you driving an M Sport BMW around, or maybe an all-wheel drive, you know, BMW and X Drive, or some sort of Mercedes? But the crossover between performance cars and all-weather cars are pretty interesting nowadays. I don't know what your favorite cars are, but I mean, I'm a big fan of Porsche Macans. I'll mention my producer has one. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not. I like his car. Uh, yeah, I'm fine. So, I mean, you folks can tell me how it is to drive those things in bad weather. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. Yeah, since we're on this subject, I just can't get with the whole idea of somebody taking a Ferrari F40 or uh, a Carrera GT, a CGT Porsche, and doing donuts in the wintertime in the snow. I mean, folks, come on. I mean, these cars are ethereal now. Not, these aren't normal movers anymore. I mean, they should be kept in glass enclosures. Between that and the AI stuff, because sometimes you really don't know what's real. I was watching a video the other day somewhere in Europe with this young girl supposedly driving an F40, and she winds up crashing it into a bus and smashes the whole front. Well, yeah, that's not real. It just that's not really happening. But it makes you think, and it is still a real visionary thing to see that visual thing, I should say. So again, we're going to get sorted out with this and listen to people's comments and what your take on some of this stuff is as well. But let's see, we're about 9 minutes into this. I'm not a big proponent of long podcasts unless we have a topic that kind of stretches and extends, the podcast to the point where people have things to talk about, or certain people's inputs that we'd like to hear from. But anyway, that's where I'm at right now with this. This is the first cast of 26. Not my best one. Again, excuse me, I'm a little under the weather, but we're going to have a lot of fun with this year. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to people's inputs. And hey, listen, be safe out there. Be careful. Get through the winter. And once spring comes, everything will blossom, including those 427 big blocks and 426 Emmys. Anyhow. Thanks a lot for listening. This is Scott Branford. I'm your automotive therapist, and I'll be back with some new episodes and some interesting topics. Have a great day. Speak to you soon. Thanks.